We're asked to simplify this fraction. Simplify the fraction 18 over 24 and state whether the result is a proper fraction. Well, straight away we can see that it is going to be a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. So it's a proper fraction already. Nothing we can do can make it not a proper fraction. Okay, how are we going to simplify it? Well, we've got 18 over 24 and we want to replace those numbers with smaller whole numbers that are also in the same ratio. So kind of a rule of thumb, if they're both even numbers, you can divide them both by 2. Okay, 18 divided by 2 is 9. 24 divided by 2 is 12, and it's going to be the wonkiest 9 ever. And have we finished? Well, we've simplified it, sure, but we could simplify it even more. And if you remember your times tables, you know that both of those are multiples of 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. So 3/4 is our smallest proper fraction. And it is a proper fraction. The numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, that's one way of doing it. That's a sort of quick way of doing it. But what if it's not quite as simple as that? Let's do it by factor. 18. What are the factors of 18? When I say factors, I mean what two numbers when multiplied together give us 18. Well, 18 has the factors 18 and 1. Okay. It has the factors 9 and 2. 9 times 2 is 18. It has the factors 6 and 3. 6 times 3 is 18. It's not a multiple of 5. It's not a multiple of 7. It's all of the factors that we have of 18. The positive factors. Let's look at 24. Okay, well, there's always 24 and 1. There is 12 and 2. There is 8 and 3 and 6 and 4. Is there a common factor that they both have? Yep, they both have a common factor of 6. So, if we divide the numerator and the denominator by that common factor, we will have simplified the function, the fraction. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So therefore, our smallest fraction is 3 over 4. We got that from the highest common factor method. And sometimes that's the only way there is of solving them. Okay. Arrange the following proper fractions from smallest to largest. 3/4, half, 2/3, 5/8. What are we going to do? The 3 over 4 and the 1 over 2 and the 5 over 8 will definitely simplify to a common denominator, but that 3 is going to mess things up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to see what number are all of factors of this number. 4, so the other way around, 3 and 8 are all factors of what number? And the answer is 24. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rewrite all of these fractions to be over 24. So here's what I'm going to do. 3/4 times, now what does 4 have to be multiplied by to give us 24? It has to be multiplied by 6. So therefore we put 6 there. Now why did I do that? Remember that any number divided by itself except for 0 is 1. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So what we're really saying is 3/4 times 1. Okay. So 3/4 equals 18 over 24. Right? Do it again. Half. Now what do we have to multiply 2 by to get 24? And the answer is 12. So I'm going to multiply 1/2 by 12 over 12, which is 1, which is the same as saying half times 1. So 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 12 is 24. See how we're rewriting these so that they have the same denominator? Okay. 2/3 times, now what do we have to multiply 3 by to get 24? The answer is 8. So 2/3 times 1, which is 8 over 8. So it's going to be 16 over 24. And lastly, 5 over 8. What do we have to multiply the 8 by to give us 24? Well, it's going to be 3. Okay, and now it's much easier for us to see what the highest and lowest numbers were, because they're all over 24. So the lowest number is 12 over 24, which is half. That's the lowest number. That's that done. What's the next one up? Well, 15 over 24 is the next one up, and that is 5 over 8. 16 must be the next one up, which isn't 16 over 24, although it is, but we want it back in the original form, which is 2/3. And lastly, 18 over 24 must be the largest, and that is 3/4. Right? So what did I do? I transformed them so that they were all over the same denominator. And then we can compare them a lot easier. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite those so you can see another way of doing it if you had a calculator. Let's grab our calculator and convert all of these into fractions. Remember how we do it? It's just numerator divided by the denominator. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Okay. 5 divided by 8.625. Two over 3. 2 divided by 3 is going to give me a horrible number, 0.66666 forever and ever and ever. We're just going to say 0.666. And 3 divided by 4, which you probably should already know, is 0.75, 0.75. Now it's a lot easier to put these in order. So 0.5 is less than 0.625, is less than 0.666, recurring is less than 0.75. That's another way of doing it. Okay. The last one is a bit of a curly one, and you really have to read the question. A recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and you only have a half a cup of sugar. What fraction of the required amount do you have? So notice there it's not saying how much more sugar do you need, because obviously you need another 1/4 of a cup. But what fraction of the final product do you have? So are we going to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? In actual fact, we're going to use division, because we've got half a cup and we want to get to 3/4 of a cup. So we've got half a cup of the 3/4 of the cup that we need. So we're going to rewrite that half divided by 3/4, and you should know by now the drill for that is the same as half times 4 over 3, which is 4 over 6. These are both even numbers, so divide by 2, 2/3. So we have 2/3 of the amount of sugar we need. We need 1/4 of a cup to get 3/4 of a cup if we only have half, but it just pays to be really, really careful reading the question and thinking, what form do we need to use? What action do we need to perform on this fraction?